Come on, Star, let's go.
Lucas, we're good.
All right, just call the order Parks and Rec meeting Thursday, November 11th. Welcome everybody that came. Thank you, Dominic. Let's start with audience of citizens. Please step up to the front, state your name, address, and do your. Linda? Welcome, Linda. Kozlenko.
Linda Kozlenko, and this is my friend Carol Thompson. We are with a group of quilters.
Linda, I'm sorry. Can you just give me your address, please?
17 Streamside Lane.
Thank you.
We've been quilting together for over 25 years. We like to sew together, and nobody has a house big enough that we could all bring our sewing machines. So we were hoping to rent one of the rooms in the Park and Rec so we could all come in and sew together.
Sounds fantastic.
It is. We have so much fun, and we can talk all day.
I'd like you to come to my house if you'll quilt me a nice blanket. Questions?
Any questions, anybody?
So just ability, we have to say yes, right?
Would everybody be from Berlin? And
3 from Berlin, 7 from out of town.
But some of them were originally from school.
And I communicated that they would have to pay a non-resident.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we'll split it.
What is the non-resident?
Did I tell you $40, I
You
think?
did.
Yeah, because it's considered a full day, it's 24 hours.
So that's it.
Perfect, thank you, Linda.
What if we want?
Do you mind coming up and just stating your name and address? I'm sorry.
Carol Thompson, 421 Savage Hill Road. If we wanted, this is from 9 to 3, is that what the block is?
That's what you guys are submitting, so.
Oh, okay, what if we wanted it to be longer?
We would just have to see if it would interfere with any other groups that might be meeting in that room that day.
Right.
But the fee wouldn't change because you're over a 4-hour period, it's however many hours over that would still be the $40.
Okay, probably would be till 4 only anyway. Right. Okay.
Cool. Thank you, ladies.
Okay. Stop in and visit us if we get to come in anytime. So,
All right, I will go.
thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
It's just because it doesn't fall under our normal community center guidelines, so I brought you guys to.
Okay.
We'll let you.
Thanks, ladies.
Be in touch, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, next, Mark Tachaki. Mark, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Martin, I'd rather you to be more in the middle. This is where the speaker.
Copy that. My name is Mark Chesky. I'm a resident of Berlin since I think 2nd or 3rd grade. I moved here. 400 Percival Avenue,
Thank you.
Berlin, Connecticut. I've been in contact with Steve a little bit, made a few phone calls. I don't know what the process is. I just would like to start a conversation on potentially building a skate park, pump track in town. Berlin has 9 baseball fields, 2 softball fields. These are my rough estimates. 11 or so soccer, 3 football, countless basketball courts. We've got track course, tennis, and that's all great. They're all wonderful things. A lot of these are ball sports. A lot of these are facilities that kids just don't have access to on a regular basis to just go be able to use that. Like, I've lived in town. I played on Sage Field one time for a soccer game. I never was a football guy, but whatever. But I feel like this town would greatly, how do I say it? Like, I think it'd be greatly benefit from having a community spot where kids can come gather, ride bikes safely, skateboard safely. Skateboarding, I've got a quick little bullet points, is a great healthy activity. It can be competitive, it can be non-competitive. It builds creativity, self-expression, development of personal style, great cardiovascular workout, builds muscle strength, balance, coordination, creates self-esteem, resilience, problem-solving skills, all while being a positive stress release. Skateboarding is as American pie as it gets. It's an American sport. It should be built here. We should be cultivating it. I think it'd be great to have a spot in town where kids, because I don't think we have something in town. We don't have like a neutral park where kids just show up and they can just do whatever. It's a 3 o'clock baseball game or on a Saturday or something like that. It's for every kid that plays football, baseball, all that. I gotta imagine almost all those kids have a bike. most of those kids probably have a skateboard or a scooter. I think it'd be cool to have something to update and give kids somewhere to be. I think we live in a generation, and I know I'm a parent, a lot of parents in here, we're constantly fighting with our kids. Get off the tablet, get off the TV, get off the video games. Constantly telling our kids to go outside. Where do they go? You know, grab your bike, grab your skateboard, go into the park, we'll call your friends. You know what I mean? And Newington's redone one, New Britain's done one, Manchester just built a beautiful facility, Naugatuck just built a beautiful facility. So these things can be done. You know, and I know there's been efforts in the past, you know, for past 20, 30 years, there was times that these things were supposed to be done, they were never done. So where this meeting should be, hey, we need to redo or update the skate park, we never got. So I just would like to maybe open the idea and get people maybe talking. We can use, there's the Tony Hawk Foundation, which has, you know, I don't know if they give grants and stuff like that, but they help people build skate parks and stuff like that. We can do GoFundMe's, fundraisers. We have the Berlin Fair to get the word out, raise money. But I don't know where, but I just feel like it'd be a cool idea and ultimately give the kids somewhere to go play and be kids. And for adults too, like there's older guys that ride bikes and skate and stuff like that. So something lacking in town that I think.
Questions for Mark?
Where does everybody go now, skate park?
They go Farmington Avenue, they ride their bikes down the street. I know there was an issue years ago with these kids riding bikes on Farmington Ave. There's nowhere to go.
So, but for skate parks.
For skate parks, Newington, New Britain, you gotta get in a car and drive
Do
there.
you actually go there?
Yeah.
You don't use areas around here like,
I'm sure here around here, kids are using cul-de-sacs.
it used to, when my kids were growing up, they used to go off McKee. Use McKee as a good rep. Not that that's a great solution.
No, it's so good. I think a lot of it should be to build a facility where you have quarter pipes, ramps, berms, rollers, where things are built properly, things are built safely, you keep injuries and, you know, people are worried about insurance costs or kids getting hurt. If you build it right, you won't have that problem. And, you know, we dump a lot, not gonna say dump, I'm sorry, wrong word. But we use a lot of money that goes into facilities for kids that play ball sports. Not every kid is a ball sport kid. You know, there's a lot to be learned from skateboarding and bike riding. Kids, you know, they learn tenacity, they get tough, they get resilient, they work on a trick forever, and then that gratification when you finally get it, like that's like building skills that like we need in this world. You know what I mean? Like not everybody fits in one box. And I know as a kid growing up, you know, there was talk we were supposed to have something, and this simply started, we were driving back with my son and we were coming from like Manchester, and he's like, how come we don't have a skate park in town? And I simply was, I don't know. I'll start making some phone calls and hopefully, you know, and I can't imagine my kid's the only kid in town that would benefit from this by any means.
Just out of curiosity, is everybody else here for the skate park? Is that why you're all here? Yes.
I've put stuff out on like Berlin Talks. We've
Yeah,
got
what's-
tons of like responses
Do?
and, you know, so, but I don't know how the process starts. I don't know if it starts here. You guys work with us. This goes to like, is this more of like a town hall thing, a finance thing? Like, you know, I don't know how they'll get the ball started. I'm trying to open a can of worms, I think.
So, I mean, I'll start it and then anybody can add to it. I think I'm probably the longest tenured commissioner on. So it's been many, many, many years since anybody has come asking for a skate park. I think, I don't know, Jen.
Not since I've been here.
Not since you've been here, not since you've been here. I mean, when my kids were kids, when my adult kids were kids, there was a request, but it was like it petered out. It was a couple of people coming to a meeting, then it petered out. We never heard from anybody. So
I know I've talked to some people who've like worked in the past on getting it, and I think the idea was that it didn't gain a lot of traction. They didn't, maybe even the idea of they didn't feel like they got a lot of support because poo-pooed a little bit. But, you know, and I get it, maybe it's expensive and stuff like that, but if other towns are able to facilitate, and I mean, Berlin, you know, we are an affluent town, we can.
Newington has pretty good size one, you know.
Who was that?
Newington.
Newington, New Britain, Manchester,
Yeah.
Naugatuck, and like, and even the idea of take my son to Manchester and he's gone skating, we do stuff, we ride around, and then we go grab lunch in town. So
Yeah.
if you build something awesome, like in Naugatuck, they just built a sick park. Tony Hawk was there a month ago out of the blue just to go skate it. Like, people will travel and go do these things, and then they're gonna go get a bite to eat. They're gonna go buy Gatorades. So if you build something, it would attract people to town.
Right, so the way it works for capital projects is, this is great. To start a group going, continue the effort, continue talking to us. But there's something called the capital budget in town. And that's for projects like this, but for all departments throughout the town. The town side, police department, fire department, you know, for a fire truck, Parks and Rec, Board of Education, for their efforts, right? So every department, every group puts together their capital budget for the next 10 years, right? Still 10 years. They go out 10 years. Projects like this, if there's a groundswell and if it's decided, you know, there's no reason not to put it onto a capital budget. You know, I hate to say it, but it kind of goes from the bottom up, right? So you're coming in now, goes to the bottom. It may go to the top, you know, I'm just saying that normally it would go to the bottom, and it goes to the bottom. You try and get some estimate, you talk to other towns, try and find out how much it costs. I don't know if you have any idea.
I have spoke with builders. There's a company in Connecticut, Rampage, and I talked with them and I've gotten ideas of what this could cost.
How much?
And you know, you're anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. You know, I mean, to build a state, you know, that's state of the art quality concrete skate park. You know, it's but he's also said that he's worked, because there's other companies, like there's a company, I believe Steve said he spoke with Spoon Ranch, who they're out of California, and they're a company who will build designs for you, and they'll say they'll build it for you. And, you know, and then like I talked to the guys from Rampage, he's like, a lot of my work is subcontracting for them. He's like, he gave a proposition where
They put it in.
well, he said that they proposed to a town, I believe it was 10,000 square feet for $800,000. He said he came back and talked to the town and said, I'll give you 13,000 feet for $500,000. Because they're a major like conglomerate company that they're gonna take their money and then they're gonna go subcontract it out, take the profit. And he's like, why are you gonna pay the guy in the middle?
Yeah, right. So all that goes.
And he's also, I'm sorry, he's
Yeah,
also
right.
big on working with whatever utilities or whatever a town might have to work. Like if you've got a big pile of old asphalt, we could build that into something and then bury it and stuff like that. So he's willing to be creative, and he is a skater himself. So he just wants to build cool stuff for kids. And, you know, but he also makes a living at it. So.
So just say it's $1 million. Yeah, I'm just
Right.
throwing that out, right?
Yeah, I mean, we spent $1 million for Sage, right?
It goes on the capital budget list. And then there's a committee at the town level, Steve, Jen, Debbie, you know, some of them serve on it, they go through the list and they prioritize. Based on, there's all, safety, I think, is first. Safety is first. So you're talking about fire trucks, police cruisers, you know, things like that, right? And they prioritize that way. Recreation obviously is important, but not as important in their eyes as safety. And so that it goes through it. And it takes the public to push your elected officials to get things. This commission is a recommending commission only. We can only recommend.
Okay.
Right, so we say, you know, we think it should go on the capital budget, put on the capital budget. Then as things get going and maybe you look at costs as it gets closer to that time, but you gotta put a year in there when you're gonna do it. You take staff, there's another commission called the Public Building Commission that will probably get involved because they're getting involved in everything now. And you know, you start talking. I'm gonna give you an example. You may have heard, we're looking at escape, not escape.
I love it. Nice going.
And yeah, splash pad, to replace the Hubbard School or the Meridenda pool, right? And other things there. That's been in the works for a number of years, like, you know, we closed the pool 2 years back. We've been working on this to try and get the council and the Board of Finance both have to agree to spend the money to work on this. We're not even there yet. We just interviewed couple of engineering firms, architects and engineers, which would be part of this process to design and see where the best fit is, blah, blah, blah. We just did that. We're gonna be talking about that tonight. We hope to go to council. That's a project, multifaceted, but it's a few $1 million in total, probably. We're talking about spending, just say, 350,000 just on the architect and engineer. We gotta beg, borrow and steal just to get that going with the council and the Board of Finance, probably. And we'll be doing that hopefully, should we proceed, the end of November. That's just the first step. Then they tell us it's a 2-year project to put a splash pad in and all the other things that we're looking at parking lots. So now we're out to 2027. We started this thing 4
First
years.
5-year process, you said.
I'm not trying to discourage you. What I'm telling you is, if you want it, you're gonna have to continue
fine.
talking
Well,
about
I
it.
think I'm hoping that this is the first step. you know?
It is. This is
So I think I'm in the right place.
But, you know, for every one of you, you gotta get 10 other people. I'm just saying,
Okay.
right?
And when you say 10 other people, like 10 other people to show up to the meetings, to do petitions work,
You could do
Facebook petitions,
You could do whatever you feel to get a ground swelling. Like, I've seen the posts on Facebook.
okay,
Be positive. You know, if you run into the mayor, just say, hey, mayor, you know, I went to Parks and Rec Commission. We're introducing a skate park. Love to see that. Put on the on the capital request and kind of move up pretty quickly because my kids are getting older. you
Right.
know. You gotta start talking like that.
fair enough.
And
I've never done anything like this.
Yeah,
Like I said, my son's asked, how come we don't have one? And I said, well, I'm gonna just start calling people. And Steve invited me to, to the meeting to speak, so
Yeah.
I'm learning by as we go and hopefully,
And, you know, those people, where are you going to the skate park? Where else? What other towns you going to? You're going to visit other towns? How many of them? I'd really like to know how many kids really use a skate park for Berlin. We need to kind of understand that, right? It's like
Figure out
we-
the actual number.
we use, how many people attend the personal pool during the summer? Every day we log in number because we have to support the money spent based on the usage. Same thing here. So the more data you can get to help us, Steve and others, you know, the better off you are. So this is a great start though, I think. So that's kind of the process of it. It's nothing that will get done in the next year, because if. Right, right.
I know that,
I don't wanna tell you how many
right?
years there could be, but I'm just.
Like I know Manchester, they said it took almost 10 years and they had to
Yeah.
fight tooth and nail,
That's
but they
not
built
unusual,
an absolutely beautiful thing that is filled every day.
not unusual, not unusual. This, the town, for what it's worth, is very conservative, they're financially, fiscally conservative or fiscally responsible, whatever you wanna call it.
Right.
Maybe a good thing, maybe not for us or you or whatever, but that's, so it's tough to get money spent like that. They're looking at the tax rate. So,
Doing our due diligence and.
Have you guys talked about a location?
I know quickly spitballing, like maybe using something at Sage, saying that's where the most amount of land would probably be. I actually thought, but I believe it's being used on Percival. They're gonna do senior housing in the old Knights of Columbus. I thought, that would be a good spot where you could bankroll it into the bank. Then you could have baseball, soccer, pool, skate park, bump track. I feel like that would be cool. I know Steve said somewhere, is it by Fairview? There's that park. Were we talking about
Yeah,
that?
but we would ideally like to go somewhere at Sage Park, pulling into the left by the kickball.
Yeah.
It's the only area of land that is not on school grounds that we could build this usable 7 days a week, and also that we would minimize any impact on the neighbors. That seems to be a big concern.
so it wouldn't be something that kids would drive their bikes to, if it's.
I would love for that, but talking with Steve, I don't know if there's a plot of land in town, because I would love the idea that my son, I'm on my bike, I'm on my skateboard,
Right.
picking up this kid over here, and we're all gonna gravitate, like I know when I was a kid, we used to ride bikes all over town, and we would probably hang out in places we're not supposed to. But, if there was a dedicated place where this would be encouraged and we could have lights and we can install cameras if people need to feel better about it or whatever, then, kudos. And, I just think it'd be cool to have something cool in town.
My Stop and Shop not big enough over the bridge there on the backside by.
We don't,
Legion.
town doesn't own any Stop and Shop, the front by the American Legion is
Right.
Legion Square, then it goes over to the VFW, and then everything else is Veterans Park, which is maintained by the residents. To answer your question on Pistol Creek, we have to look into the deed of how it was set up when the town purchased it. Did they ever build anything there? I don't. I can't speak. No.
I hate to be a pain, but anyone who wants to ask questions does have to come up and state their name and address. So we're welcome to have anyone else up, but I do need you to come up and have a record.
It's true. Good listen.
I just want to say, Mark, too, I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Yeah, Mark.
I know I put myself in your shoes, like 2 years coming here, like not being on the commission and being like, what are we doing about the town pool and the splash pad? And like, I went from this meeting to like the town council with like statistics, being like, here are all the towns and pools and splash pads, and it was like 4 pages. I'm like, here you go, to Mayor Mark and the rest of the council. And then another mom and I were like, look, it will bring people to town. We're spending our money with the splash pad. So I think the more that you talk about it and the more you put it in people's ears, because when things go to referendum, like Donna said, the town doesn't want to pay more money. And so like all of us will love to be like, yeah, let's go get the builder right now. But then there are all these constraints. So if there isn't like the hardcore data that you're being like, hey, we collected all this, like the more excitement and the more momentum that you can build, because then we also have a big senior senior population as well. So like, we want to make sure that we're looking and saying, wow, this isn't, it's really a big thing. It's not just like 10 kids that are going to use it. It's a bigger impact on that. So that would be like, my thought is really kind of building momentum, getting the voices there, and really have it be heard.
Okay.
Yeah, the playground, even the playground, like, I reached out to Steve. Steve's great. And, we chatted a lot. We got moms involved. Like, we put on Facebook, the moms group, send us the designs you guys like from other towns. So when we did Little People's, I said to Steve, hey, we want a roller slide. He's like, oh, let me take a look at, what the design says. So it's like, the more that you put yourself out there to the community, you bring back that feedback, whether it's petitions, visuals, pictures of other skate parks and stuff. I think the more you make it real in people's minds, the better the outcome will be.
Okay.
Points.
I'm Colin Askler, 156 Overhill Drive. My question would be, could it be across from the high school at that giant lot? Because that empty lot, I know people that work for the town, they say they just put dirt there, they don't do anything with it. It'd be town property, it's school zone, right? Bring your skateboard bike to school, right? There's already kids already over there, right?
So, yeah, so that property, that's a piece to consider. But I will tell you that the council is working with the Y to bring a Y into town. And at least right now, that's the lot that they're looking at. They would have a Y come in, the Y said they'd put an indoor pool in, the Y may not, fly, I don't know.
It's not a definite thing,
The
but that's the
council-
land that they are currently exploring.
The entire parcel? Yeah. Okay. Alright, because I do know, right, it's hard to emphasize to people that don't go to these parks. If you go to Stanley Quarter, right, you're going to New Britain, you go to Rockwell Park in Bristol, you go to any of these parks, it's not just a skate park, they are parks, and they are packed. They are packed every day, and it's hard to, again, if it's pictures, it's, you get polls, right, you get videos, we post stuff online. They are packed all the time, right? I go there when I have free time, right? And it's a nice thing to have in the town. I actually did my senior capstone on this exact subject with the Parks and Rec Department 6 years ago, or no, yeah, 6 years ago. And they basically were like, what are you gonna do? So if we could get the support, I think that's what gentleman's here, the more that we can, get that through. And I think that we're all trying to get guidance on how to do that, right? And if you have any suggestions, yeah, we appreciate it. We would like to see this go through, and it does seem to fizzle out every couple of years. So thank you for your time.
Thanks.
So just to reiterate, Donna's saying, she went around to all the towns around the area for both pools, splash pads. She documented everything, like she said. She came to Park and Rec Commission. We thought it was a great idea, and we had her go, but she did her homework. I mean, she was great. So I mean, to the point of getting your, and she's on here too, so, but you really have to sit there and do your homework and get statistics and see what other towns are doing and get a sense of what the cost is and things like that. And then I know you want both a skate park and a ball park, which are pretty cool. I was like, videos, what the whole thing would cost. I don't know if that's enough space for Steve's talking.
For both. It's a good idea, but you have to do it. You have a question?
Yeah, my name is Emily Jensen. I live
That's
in
fine.
Hold on, Greg was interrupting you. What was your name again?
Name and address.
Emily Jensen, 16 Enderby Street, and I just was thinking, why don't we just like fund half of it? Like, we could do fundraisers, go around town, try and fund part of it, and you guys fund the other. Is that possible?
I'd probably suggest getting the groundswell going first before we start doing GoFundMe's. Just because you want to get ahead of yourself doing that, correct?
The town would have to approve the project before any funding would be allotted anyway.
It's a great idea and it might down the road become a part of it, but I would say right now, work on getting the word out, getting. Good question.
So my question is, just following up, like, is this one thing we do on our own, or is this something like the Parks and Rec would get behind in essence as well? Like, would you guys work with us to help us make these steps, or?
So my understanding is you guys would do a lot of the legwork. Bring it, put it all together, bring it back to the Park and Rec Commission. Park and Rec Commission would then talk about the idea, or would go over the idea with themselves. They would come up with a statement of need. They would then take the statement of need, would then go up to the town council, and that's the way that.
So we'd have to come back with you with some data, statistic,
Right.
info.
Picture.
Then you guys would be like, hey, we think this jives, this works, and then you guys would kick it up to town council.
Right. And then we would start with some geo borings, making sure that the land that we have selected is suitable for the structures and everything you put there.
Okay,
It goes on that capital budget.
right. I'm just trying to think, like, what do we do next? Like, you know,
Correct, I think when I became a commissioner in January, the first project I remember being on here was the disc golf presentation in February, I think, of 2024, 5 maybe. So like, if you looked at four years, oh yeah, but 2 years ago. And that was really well done, like a nice presentation, and then what, they brought it here, and then it was recommended for town council.
And that is video online. You wanna see how he presented that and
Talk
everything.
about it. I think
and that would be like, I mean, would it be like, I'd have to create a drawing of Sage Park with a skate park in it and like have a place for it and everything? Or,
If I'm wrong, I mean, that's not a good reference, but like.
So this is- Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be a
you
great
wanna do it
reference, like
in
they would-
increments, Right? So the first thing to do, you already have your list of area towns. I'm gonna just throw something out. Berlin compares itself a lot to Rocky Hill and Cromwell. You can argue with that, but Rocky Hill almost has the same demographics,
okay,
okay, same income levels. But we always compare ourselves to that, and we try and use that to say, look how far ahead they are on some recreational things, and we're not, right?
and Cromwell has a skate
You
park.
probably shouldn't use Rocky Hill skate park. That's an example.
Right, no, I'm just saying though, but
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out, because you're gonna, you know, smaller town, we have 20,000 people in our
Okay,
town.
just, okay, so I
Naugatuck,
reference,
Manchester is a lot more, I'm not saying,
no, I get it. I get it.
but maybe Bristol, do they?
Like, I know, like, I believe it's Hebron, East Hampton just built a skate park, and I think they said they have about 10,000.
Yeah. So make a list, get the size,
Cheshire.
you know, find out the size.
Yeah, Chester, has it. I mean,
Has one.
How old it is,
right.
you know, that type, just get.
Okay.
Pictures of use.
And start getting a list.
Pictures of youth.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, I have videos and stuff on it. I'm not the most tech savvy, but I'll work at it. So,
I mean, you can use the retail information too, use Craig, like he sells this many skateboards a year, like.
yeah,
it's-
I'm sure
you
he
know,
probably has tons of data and he
Tie all
probably
that
has a lot of
into it.
resources and info and
Exactly.
whether or not kids are still buying skateboards and bikes.
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
you know,
Tie
not
all
just
it into it, yeah,
Yeah.
just tell them how big it is, you know, it's still growing.
Right,
It's still
I mean, they're
growing, like-
expanding every location. It started as a shack, right, Craig? And then now it's, it's the old farm store, So, I mean, it's not dying, it's not going anywhere.
No, right.
And we have an asset like Craig in town who, not to get cheesy, but like because of Craig and skateboarding and bikes and snowboarding, dude's changed my life. Like I am who I am because of these kinds of sports. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's something that can be great for a lot of kids. So
What's a pump track?
a pump track is, do you know what a BMX course is like for bikes? Like it's a toned down version of that. Berms, ramps, jumps, rollers, and you get some speed, you get some inertia, and then you're using your body momentum pumping to keep your speed up, and you're using transition. And
You're looking for both skate park and the pump track.
I think that would be great. I think that
How
would be,
big is the pump track? I mean, does it have like a, is it?
It coils around itself a lot of times, like it's in a circle, but then it can coil back and forth.
So different sizes.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do different sizes, and same thing with skate parks, there's no set design, there's some places that are plazas where it's a lot of rails and berms and like pyramid type things, then you have like a lot of bowls where kids generate speed and transition through doing other things, so there's stuff within all these things that you can build and create your own identity and thing, you know, so.
You mentioned grants. If you know of some group that provides grants nationally or whatever,
I know that the Tony Hawk Foundation gives out money, but usually that's
Look it
for,
up. look it up and bring that and make that
yeah,
part.
because I know that, but that's for low, towns that don't have, like, I think we'd be too affluent. We wouldn't qualify.
You know, maybe you know too, so, you get other money from other sources,
Right,
it's gonna,
okay,
go away. So
well, I mean, if anybody's got any other questions, I feel like I've been talking on
I
that.
think continue dialogue, really can come back to us after you get this information, come in
Okay.
at some point,
Yeah.
but I think it's important to continue.
I would also tap back into Spoon Ranch. They were the only ones that returned my call, and they were very happy to give me as much information as they possibly could, square footage, where it would fit, how it would lay out, and that's where we came up that the location to the left of Sage Park pulling in would work.
Right.
You could put both of them right there in that footprint. So like they were, like I said, you said Rampage, but
Yeah.
Spoon Ranch was the only one that
Okay.
called back with anything.
I know that when I spoke to him, he said he'd be more than happy to talk, so I'll get back in touch with him. I mean, I don't know if you care if I give him your information and he gives you a call maybe or something, so.
Let me know when you do wanna come back, so I can put you on the agenda, and if you
Okay.
have any kind of presentation, we put it in the package, so they get the
And as
information
far as
ahead of time.
presentation, I mean, can we look up through the computer and have photos and do all?
Yeah, why don't you get it to me ahead of time?
Heavily, okay.
I think Steve provides, Steve, this is your.
No. The address.
Okay, great.
100%.
What was your name? I'm sorry, hon.
Noah. Me and Emily had maybe. How you're saying we were saying that you need statistics about like if kids would use it or not. We could maybe go around the school and ask other kids if they might like ask them first, like if they would, if they want a skate park in town. And if they say yes or no, we would ask if you would actually go there and skateboard and stuff. And we could get like data and results. Some numbers. If they would like a skate park and.
It's a great idea, no.
Great idea.
Petition, give
You
them
got
sign
it.
their names or.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
you could do surveys in your school, like talk to your principal and say, hey, can we blast this out to everybody? And
Maybe you get credit for it.
that'd be awesome.
And then get the data to Mark, so it could be in one big PowerPoint, so I think that's the thing, it's a big package, share it here, you share it with town council, finance, everybody.
The office.
And you get-
like a presentation.
Their parents have to support it, because the parents are the one that pay, right? So they gotta be the ones to support behind the kids, but you guys are, the more you talk about it, the better off you're gonna be.
I know I handed out flyers today about this whole meeting going on.
Alright,
And so I passed it out to a couple kids who I knew, like, I knew who does skateboard and who has a bike and after I was on the bus, I was on my Chromebook and I could hear in the background kids talking about, because I think the flyer news had spreaded and more kids are talking about it and they're asking if you're going, because if I'm going, you're going, and like it's like yeah. So I think the more kids I'm reaching, it seems to be spreading and getting more people to, yeah. So all we have to do is get the teachers involved.
Sounds good, guys.
Good job, Noah. Emily.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
thank you.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Ty Chahatsky. I also reside at 400 Percival Avenue. So just a couple of things that I just wanted to add to kind of close out. I am a mom of 2 children that always look for something to do outside of, like their walls in their home. And when I travel to these skate parks, I talk to moms. And it's a common thread that we have to travel outside of our town to get to facilities that our kids enjoy. So when we're talking about who resides in town and what's important, I think it's also really important to remember that we have folks leaving our town to go to other towns to access facilities that we don't have, which means that if they're leaving, then we're not having those types of families come in town to reside in town because we can't offer them what we really need to for these kids to enjoy what they want to enjoy. So it's just something to think about. I grew up in Cromwell. So when they added the splash pad, I traveled there because we didn't have one. So, you know, it's just something to think about in terms of like, we don't want people leaving our town to access things that we don't have, because ultimately that may convince them not to stay or not to come, which is another reason why I think it's important to broaden our perspectives on what is needed in the town as well. Because we are an affluent town, but we're a young town. You know, our generation is a generation that accepts things like this. And I have to be honest, it's been wonderful just talking to moms about, you know, what we struggle with these days and how to keep our kids busy and, you know, the challenges of every day raising kids. And I think it's important to keep that in mind and appreciate you guys here listening to what we have to say, because it starts somewhere. And, you know, we do appreciate that. So, and our kids do too. So something to think about. And if you want statistics and data, I'm a former educator, so I can get you all that.
Cool.
So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
Mark. That's my contact info for the next.
You're also welcome to sit next to, you know, we have any
How many cards?
other things, there might be a general discussion about this afterwards, but you can also see it on YouTube. In a couple of days, it's taped, so you don't have to.
So thank you for coming, guys.
Yeah, thank you all for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Emily.
Emily. Can you come here a sec?
Thank you all. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, Rob.
That.
What's your address? I'll look it up.
Another way.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Lucas.
Great picture. All right, approval of minutes and Brad, any discussion on minutes?
Make a motion, then discussion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second. I just have one change. That's on page 2, where it says Christopher Star discuss motor scooters addressing burn marks on the turf. Just add Viscoglio.
Page 2. Where am I looking? Sorry.
No, it's just after in Parks and Grounds, the next paragraph after that, Commissioner Starr discussed
Electric bikes.
motor scooters burn marks.
Oh, that's her, Viscoglio's her. Okay, so the motion on the table is to accept the minutes as presented. Can we get a vote on that?
No. With the change?
No, the
No,
motion
it's
is
no,
to accept
no.
as is. So all in
I'll make-
favor?
Right. So we
All
know
opposed?
agrees, right? Make a motion.
All opposed?
All opposed, yeah.
Okay, so that fails 0-7. Motion, Donna?
Make a motion. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes with the change.
Second. All in favor? Accept the minutes as changed. Aye. Got it? All ayes.
Thank you, sorry.
All right. Consent agenda. Just to approve them both, or we're gonna talk about it?
We talked about fees last week. We didn't change anything. Want to approve them both?
Motion to approve fees as scheduled.
We'll probably do them both.
Motion to approve both consent agenda items as anyone.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda items A and D. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take that to passes. All right. Monthly report.
Any questions about my monthly? Been very busy, so.
Good thing you get these updates. I know what to sign up for the tinsel run here. I'm like,
Better, yeah, you might.
I did.
Sure.
I signed up today. I'm like, place I don't see these.
The basketball for the K-2 would be nice. We've done a lot of chat about that.
That's
It's
cute.
conversationally and on Facebook with parents looking. Newington does have programming. I don't know if it's in the winter, but like that's what they can say. So that'll be nice. You know, when that opens for the little guys,
I believe we start registering beginning of December, but I'm,
Yeah, it was like,
I'm knee deep into third through eighth, so. It'll be, I mean, I have a lot going on in the next 3 weeks, a lot more. So.
it was really well run last year.
Yeah, I know I did get some staff to help her out, which is gonna be great. So,
Oh, good.
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Trunk or treat was a lot of fun. I came and I did a trunk and everybody that did trunks had a lot of fun.
Any other questions for Deb?
What about the budget? What are they giving you guys for guidance or anything?
No, okay.
No,
No guidance, just make your.
no, it's not like it was in the past where it's like come up with a zero, but just do it and see what happens.
And then for capital, is this the time that you do it or? do it
Steve's the
all-
only one out of the three of us that has capital, so.
Our capital was due probably like 3 weeks ago. We have our first capital meeting on Wednesday. From our standpoint, we went for redoing the bridge at Veterans Park.
That little bridge, the back bridge.
It's the back bridge.
Yeah, because that thing was.
Yeah, she's in tough shape.
Holy crap,
Yeah.
I'm afraid to walk over it.
Yeah, our irrigation pump at Safe Park is pushing 20 years old. We're looking for like $41,000 to redo that. We're in for a new pickup truck. Another large area mower, replace our one that's almost 30 years old. I think that might be it. Oh, redo the playground on community playground, it's kind of like a team park. Which seems to be a new fad that's out, that's excess of like 300,000. Redo the sidewalks at McGee. I think that's it. for us.
Green playground team park?
Yeah, so
That's a Worthington Ridge.
yeah, Worthington Ridge. So we've got so many traditional playgrounds right in a 2 mile radius.
Yeah.
We thought that it made more sense to design a park that was aimed more towards teenagers, that had more of like overhead Ninja Warrior stuff. And then the front of it would have somewhat of a 2 to 5 traditional playground, but more towards things that we don't have in town, that you can't get at Little People's, Willard, Hubbard, Griswold, just something totally. That was the vision. We went forth to see how.
Just throwing this out, right, that area is too small. for
I thought the same
skateboarding.
thing. I know that was
I
on my head. It's
I think when we talk about the skate park, we need to think of a place where the wheels and everything going and the jumping and the music should be off
Yeah.
beat path and
Yeah.
not interrupting. Brushes.
All the time at the park
Yeah,
and have that. I know, I thought the same thing.
I was thinking, come back to what you're gonna attract. Everybody, every single. Human possible out there.
Very open to any other parcel of property that you guys might think that's not on school grounds that would be able to.
Whatever happened to Chamberlain Highway? We're thinking of like the Girl Scout area. We're thinking of the soccer fields up there at one point or no?
I don't.
There was an area that they were looking at ball fields, land trust owned a parcel that this is years ago, they were thinking of turning it over to the town. I think that died though, the land trust probably still owns it.
On the Chamberlain
Just,
Highway?
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Chamberlain Highway. That's what they were looking at, but that was, I don't know, 5, 6
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago, yeah. Well, we're kind of getting off topic, but with the budget, okay, so the capital, so we're done with our capital budget submission.
Yep.
And the next time we update that capital budget submission is next year then?
Next year, yep.
Is there anything in the 10-year plan for Skip Park?
There is not, by discussing it with Kevin, we thought the best thing was for that to come here, put out a presentation to you guys.
Yeah.
Then get some more concrete information together. Once you guys approve the idea and are in favor of the idea, that's when statement of need would come, that's when we look for a budgetary number. We're probably looking at somewhere between $16,000 and $20,000 for a land survey and the borings to be done to see what land would be suitable for the construction. So we've already got both of those estimates in.
Is that in the capital budget?
No, it's under
It's not.
25,000. So we go through design services where the town is.
So it'll be
superior.
next year to add, so the big bucks in some year going out.
But now Kevin's saying, you said to have anything on capital, it would have to be a statement of need from an existing official.
Correct.
All right, Steve, you're up.
Excuse me,
There's something else.
Decide on the group rental for the community center.
It's like on the agenda.
have to be a formal vote, it was just
With the showing,
for that, for the knitters to,
As long as
you guys
I say yes, absolutely.
And again, they don't really fall under the criteria, so I'm not comfortable just approving people because we do get a ton of requests from women and things, and I don't wanna get involved in just doing that without.
Do you want us to vote on it though?
No, but I think just to get your feedback, so you're aware of it, so when I go back and
Yes.
say that, then there won't be a discussion about, we weren't aware of what happened.
How are all those old ladies going to carry and sewing machine? What these things are wheels?
I
They probably have a car, I mean, they make them so portable now, but I don't know.
That's what I thought, maybe they have little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, different for quilting than I don't know.
Cool.
I thought that too.
I'm gonna go visit them. Let's go do it.
Yeah, come in and bring them
I
some.
definitely
Maybe
will.
let's-
You could make me a blanket before you know.
Probably will. Charm them.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get into like individuals coming in and renting, that's not, we've always stayed away from that. The commission's always said like it's more of a group type of thing for the public to come in. Which is why I wanna bring it to you guys to, for your approval, I have to decide.
Fully approved.
Okay, thank you.
What's the date on that?
No, she wasn't sure because she wasn't sure of the whole process. I think they're not looking to start now until after January. And it was not very often. I don't, it wasn't even I had sent you all.
Yeah,
I think they're looking at once a month, so.
Yeah, it was not often.
Never seen you fit in with Scott,
Yeah.
but
Steve,
Alrighty, we had a great month, wrapping up things, getting ready to transition into social services. There's a good picture of all the guys with Jamie and Robin, of us transporting all the food pantry upstairs out to Pistol Creek. Everybody had a great time. We filled a 20-foot trailer from top to bottom. ShopRite then came in with a load of food. The guys helped and assisted, loaded and unloaded everything. We're just really fortunate they were part of the program with those guys and with Jamie and Robin and social services. So thank you to them. The next one is, we bought a new piece of equipment this year. It's an ABI Force and it's got a laser rated kit. Danielle Ganault reached out to us and said the lip was getting a little big on the backside of Centerelli. So the guys went in there, they shaved that down. We brought in about 4,000 square feet of sod, relayed sod along the whole back edge of Centerelli. Added some new infill material, so that looks pretty good. So if you guys get a chance, so that park has really come together.
that's the one between the two schools.
No, it's on the backside of the high school, on the bottom of the community playground.
All right.
Off of Brandon.
Yep. The town just celebrated the 250th at the meeting house. We ended up renting 60 chairs for them with all the help from Ally of coordinating with it. Thank you for that. The event went off without hitch. Everybody was appreciative. The chairs worked out fantastic. Really looked a lot nicer than just mismatching all different chairs that don't match throughout town. So that was great. And then the last one is the guys, the signs came in, the guys hung the signs just in time for senior night, for soccer, and football. So which was pretty good. So the guys had a tremendous month and I'm looking forward to next month.
Did you guys do the fountains for the luminaries?
We did.
That looked fantastic.
Yes.
That was really cool.
Yep. We kept them on all night long, colors going, you know, we normally don't have a timer. They shut off at like 8 o'clock at night, they turn back on at like 6 o'clock in the morning. But the Veterans Commission and Lions Club asked us to leave them on all night long. So we, and then they'll remove those over the next couple of days, store them, then they'll be back out next
The luminaries look fantastic for all Lions.
Veterans
Big check,
Commission.
let's see the paper.
It's really well done, well done.
Yeah.
They come to Steve too.
week. The Lions Club is gonna let us keep their stars up all
Oh,
winter
really?
long.
It looks nice.
It really looks,
It did
it was,
look nice, yeah.
it's just the right touch.
Yeah.
Bosco doesn't know we're not gonna return them.
There's 100 more of them down there.
We've got a question about that. One of our guys, Greg, emailed Jen today.
Yep.
Asking permission to put up like 20 to 30 artificial Christmas trees.
Because we're not doing it down there.
We're not doing a Christmas tree walk this year.
Oh, no.
Oh, like
So,
around, so.
No.
I usually get.
Yeah, we didn't have-
we just wanna put them up there, put lights on them, put them on the stake. You know, and we'll like.
Jen said we have to talk to you.
Yeah, so I think the way it goes is Charlie and the Veterans Commission have say on whatever might transpire at Veterans Park. I think we gave that gentleman Charlie's number. He was gonna reach out to Charlie. I spoke to Charlie
It's not
earlier.
under us, it's under them.
It's a gray area where there's no written rule. There's no like,
But
there's
if
no
we wanted to do
formal way
something, we
to
have to go
rent
with
veterans. So I think he's gonna reach out to Charlie. I talked to Charlie. I think Charlie and him know each other. I think Charlie's got the compromise.
I know
Yes, they're both.
Yeah. They're doing some Christmas carols, that, you know, the normal Christmas carol and all that, so the time would be, you know, nice to kind of. Sure, it's something.
We own like 75 artificial Christmas trees that have no purpose of.
I know trees.
Yeah, it's too hard an event, you know, not enough members participating in it, and too much setup and one night running it. Just couldn't get a lot of people behind it this year and kind of fell flat.
Every year, it's a good ball. So need that. Seriously, every year, I got a mirror ball last year. Great stuff for my.
Always on a leash stuff.
No, always on a leash. But yeah, we probably have 10 bulbs, great bulbs for that, and I buy big trees. Much appreciated.
Yeah, the entire Connex box full. It's Christmas lights.
Oh, God, yeah. 3 bulbs, love it. And good. All right, anything else?
More agenda.
Did you just?
Oh, update, all right. Did we skip that? Oh, yes, okay. We did do our interviews, last week, right? And I thought it went very well. My take on it was the first ones were like a John Grisham movie. They brought so many people to the table, it was kind of confusing. The second people were 2 people, and the third person I thought was just right, so to speak, like Goldilocks. And they were 80 grand less than the first people. So I go with people 3. I think it was kind of unanimous, wasn't it? No, anybody else?
Yeah, so.
I'm letting you guys talk about it.
Two people from the public building.
We weren't there.
So I, Jen, Steve, and Mike. And, we had a sheet, you know, to kind of grade them on different things, and it was unanimous, to accept Weston and Sampson. They're on Rocky Hill. They're the low bidder. They are also the ones that supported KVA with our feasibility. They really did the work. KVA was just kind of, so. So maybe that's why they're a little bidder, because they got a little money to it. So the one thing, I think it was a great process.
Yeah.
5 bids, selected 3, come in, interview. Everybody got to ask their questions. It was very helpful with the engineering group, to come in, Public Building Commission. And just to pass this around, this is Weston Sampson's write-up that they gave us, but each one of them gave kind of a schematic.
Yeah, we were kind of
Not,
thinking
not
about
saying
taking
that so
something
much,
from
just
each
kind
one.
of thinking out loud, and they kind of went through it, so this is just something, there's a couple more, I think all of us liked, oh, I like that in there, and I like that, so as they work on it, you know, you kind of talk about different options and things like that, but this is the one that was approved by that group. So Public Building Commission tonight is taking a vote to, recommend to the council that we go with Weston and Sampson. We own this project
Pending our
and
vote,
we need to take a vote.
pending our vote.
I also thought,
Taking a vote.
I thought one of the best
Take a vote,
takeaways
I get it.
was a walking trail around Hall. That was fantastic idea.
Yeah, that was from one of the others, right?
From someone else, we were just.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, kind of on the outside going around, so that, you know, it was just, but that was probably the most different as far as the parking lot goes.
Yeah.
Move the pickleball to the left, noise, you gotta think about noise, they brought, you know, so for neighbors, the noise of the ball. That's why, you know, they said probably closer to the school, put the parking lot in the middle, and then.
They have 100 people in Rocky Hill with staff, and they're close by. I think one of the other guys was actually closer to that, but they were the best overall, and I think it was pretty unanimous on all the people there. I thought they were the best, and the chiefs.
And I think it was a
So
great
there-
process for all of us to be part of too.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
We definitely took a lot out of it, learned it.
Yeah,
Very
we met
interactive.
beforehand, so that we got our, you know, we all kind of talking the same game and questions.
I'd like to pick the colors for the pickleball courts. I'll put my question now.
No, it looks like it's gonna be on top of the pool.
Well, that's just a schematic, yeah, it would be to the left, like left back, in that schematic, it would be the left back of the pool.
This was just an idea.
But, you know, in that area.
It's not the final
Just-
conceptual.
Also, the building talked about, you know, prefab buildings, everybody kind of said that's where to go. They also supported Steve's thought about in and out water. All of, you
Right,
know, didn't strongly recommend recirculation, having the tank and everything, they did not.
the cost and extra staff has made it,
Do you have to take out the pool and you just fill it?
Everything's got.
So,
It's running.
Mike is putting it on the town council agenda for November 25th. Yes, assuming that we vote for it tonight, get them to do it, the cost. What they've quoted is $365,400. Takes us all the way through for the final bid, you know, we talked about 2 phases, first being splash pad parking lot. And then doing pickleball and the rest of it. And they're okay, they'll keep their bid the same, even though they have to go out twice, but the design would have to be completed, so you know where things go. So.
If anybody has any questions for me or Donna, we were there. I feel as though now I could be an architect if I wanted to. Put that out there.
And Lucas really likes a meeting about a meeting, so.
Oh, then, let me tell you about the pre-meeting. First, we had a meeting about the meeting. Now, that was a special meeting. I did not pay for that process.
I just want to say, I really appreciated that comment, because I'm the one that put out the email and said, I strongly recommend that we all get together beforehand and we all understand what the project is and how we're gonna, there were good things that came out of it, like.
Donna wrote a very serious
This one put
email
out-
about the importance of the meetings beforehand.
Yes, a meeting about a meeting,
From
joyous.
everybody, oh, a meeting about a meeting, joyous.
I just thought, you felt like, well, I'm not gonna say, whatever.
It was worth it.
It was worth it, it was good, I think it helped everybody, you know, just, we all were on the same page, and that's what you gotta do. Yeah, have these meetings.
And we're having this meeting to talk about those 2 meetings.
So we need a motion to recommend to PBC that they move forward with,
Listen, don't ask any more questions.
that they move forward with Weston and Sampson unless there's any more.
I was just asking Steve.
I'll
about
make a
that.
motion, that motion.
Hold on, so
I just wanted to bring up something, because I know we talked before about like bathrooms and size and everything, I'm
Yeah.
thinking a full house out to restroom, which is great, it sounds like no showers in there, which I think is great, because it takes down the expense of like
Right.
more stuff that needs to be in there and more kind of maintenance and everything else like that, so like, I think that's a nice way to look at it, rather than a robust big shower and all that stuff that we had on the table last time.
They said unless we're treating, if we're treating the water, we had to have a shower,
Yeah,
and because we're throwing away the water. That's true.
Right.
It's not.
it's awesome, then you guys found out like a way to escape additional costs.
Yeah.
I think.
We have Lucas ready.
You know, we're looking at, in total, the estimate for the whole thing is 5.1 million, that was what we had before, and so that's why we gotta do it in phases, 2 phases, so we can get the funding. They also said that if there's money available, like the mayor said, you know, that he would support spending some of the surplus perhaps for demolition work. If there's some surplus money available, they would work with them to make sure it's done right or whatever, but if there is, kind of get a head start. 2-year project. We're not looking, this would be, right now, there's, everybody said fall of 27. And that's assuming you get the money. So. Okay, so we got the, we got the motion, we got.
Donna, you
I'll
made a
second.
motion?
Motion.
Who seconded?
All in favor?
Alright,
Unanimous.
I like that, any questions?
Motion to,
so Jen, you're gonna. just
I'm gonna
text Mike.
tell Mike,
Yeah,
yep.
they're gonna take the vote tonight, and then 11:25 goes to the council. So that's good, so if you can be there for 11:25, I think it, you know, it's good support.
11:25.
I'll confirm once I see the agenda item
Okay.
based on what happens
What
tonight.
happens with design and all that, like, are they building, or where is that with the line, do you even know?
Sure. Also, so basically, the Y has. They're working on. It's with them to come up with a plan, basically. The borings have been done. And they gave them that information, and now it's in their lap whether they wanna do it or. And so the mayor's waiting to hear back. I know they're talking. But I've also heard that some of the board members don't think it's feasible, but
Otherwise,
so it